This was one of the best checks and balances in our system, and our founding fathers put it there for that purpose. Finally, if I were you, I recommend that you write a detailed letter expressing your opposition to this vaccination, pointing out that to take the vaccination, to be forced to take the vaccination, is a violation of your constitutional rights, pointing out that if they force you to take this vaccination, that they will be violating the Constitution, and they might well be committing a crime. As I said before, violating your rights under the color of law is a crime. And if you want to know where it's stated, it's 18 U.S. Code, Section 242 and 241. Read it. Write that down. 18 U.S. Code, Section 241 and 242. Anyone who takes your right under the color of law is committing a crime. Point that out to the people that you talk to in the offices of government who are going to try to impose this immunization on you. You know, if you can get the address of these people, any doctor, any health practitioner or law enforcement officer that might be involved in this whole deal, I suggest that you have in your possession a letter that you have written that states all these facts, that you are opposed to the vaccination and that you do not consent to it, and that it is a crime under the section that I've stated. And if you have the chance, get the names and the addresses of these people that are going to be involved, and send a letter by certified mail with return receipt so that you have a document to prove that they have this letter. Now, I don't have any other practical suggestions on this, and there's going to be other speakers, you probably heard some of them already, who have a lot more information than I do about the effect of the inoculation. But you know what? This is only a symptom of a very much bigger problem in this nation. And that problem is failure of the government to comply with the Constitution. Most government people don't even know what the Constitution says. And I can stand here and say that because I asked Max Baucus, when he came to Bozeman to preach about the health care program, I asked, where in the Constitution are you granted power to do anything in Congress concerning health care? And he stuttered and stammered, and he told me, well, I find nothing in the Constitution that prohibits it. Well, that's not what the Constitution says. The Constitution grants specific powers to Congress, and all others by the 10th Amendment are reserved to the states. So if the Constitution is silent, that means you don't have the power. Max Baucus didn't seem to know that. He's an attorney. He's been a senator forever, way longer than he should be.
Yes.
And we have to get those people out of office. But more importantly, we have to educate them. So how are we going to do that? The U.S. Code is 18 U.S.C. Section 242 and 241. 242 is the crime of violating your rights under the color of law. 241 is a conspiracy to violate. I don't have a Montana citation, I'm sorry. Okay, You know what? We live in a fabulous country with a fabulous history. Do you know that we are the only country in the world, that has a Declaration of Independence that states clearly our philosophy of government? Now, you've heard this before, but I'm going to repeat it just so that we know. This is the second paragraph in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Self-evident. That means no question. It's self-evident, it's obvious. That all men are created equal. That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Unalienable. What's an alien? Someone that you're separated from. Unalienable rights are rights that you cannot be separated from. Your rights come as a package. You, your soul, your rights. It's all a package, and they cannot be separated from you. Government does not grant you those rights. They come from God, the Creator. Among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are some broad classifications. Life, you have control over your life. You have the right to protect your life with the Second Amendment. You have the right to decide how you're going to take care of your own health, including inoculations. You have the right to carry a gun to protect your life against someone who might harm you. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. Well, right there is the primary purpose of government. To secure our rights, governments are instituted among men. And governments get their power from the consent of the governed. That's us. We consent to let the government do certain things to protect our rights. How do we do that? We've done it through the Constitution. The Constitution is our consent to be governed. That's the consent. If we don't consent to have the government do certain things through the Constitution, they do not have the power to do it. It's as simple as that. So, what does the Constitution say? Let's start at the very beginning of the Constitution. The preamble to the Constitution. Preambles are merely statements of what the document is all about, what the document says. The preamble says, "We the people," and then it gives certain reasons and concludes with, "do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." We the people do ordain and establish the Constitution.
Did you record that last night? Your laptop?
We the people have created the government. So who is the sovereign here? We the people are the sovereigns, and the government is our servant. Well, unfortunately, we the people have been asleep for far too long, because the servant government has grown and grown and grown out of proportion. It's ignored the limits of our consent, has ignored the Constitution, and we are now to a point where we are in big, big trouble.
If they kill off
Now,
a whole bunch of
I think that there is a solution. I'm not sure if we're on time or not, but I hope we are.